You see, in 2020 when this COVID came, and almost all the supply chains were disrupted. We could not produce PCBs, we could not produce semiconductors, whatever the capacity was there. And we could not generate uh, our critical metals like copper, aluminum, gold, tin. Gold is not critical, but yes, it is used in the PCB business. So you will understand that the recycling is the business which will grow more than 30% every year, and it will be better than mining from the mother earth. And this is the need of the hour. You will see that the right to live, which is important for us, is being disrupted by the climate change by way of 32 billion metric ton of carbon emissions every year. And we constitute, India has constituted 18% of the population, but we only uh, emit 8% of the carbons. So we need funding from the developed countries who have destroyed the climate in the last 150 years. If I give you the figure, you will be surprised that 4,000 billion metric ton of the carbon has been emitted in the last 150 years when we have started industrialization. So this has impacted almost all the world. Even those have done industrialization, whether it is America, Europe, they have emitted carbon and disrupted the climate. That we all know. So how to overcome that situation, at least in India? The Japan, the Korea, they have doing the recycling to their maximum, and they are achieved 70% of their all products which are there in their end of the life of their products, like consumer durables, like medical devices, like textile, like batteries, like tires. So they all are being recycled to the extent of 70%. And India has just achieved 30 to 35% of their end of life products to be recycled. Now the time has come when we have to recycle more than 70% so that we can have our supply chains secured, whether it is for semiconductors or ELVs which is coming, or the lithium and ion batteries. All these things are coming up. And the government of India and the Honorable Prime Minister has already constituted 11 committees to look into this recycling, which can be taking over then normal mining. In next a decade, you will see the mining from the earth will come down, and mining from the urban, which is called urban mining as far as recycling is concerned, to secure the resources to a greater extent. And we will be producing a lot of products which could have gone into the landfill. So I'll just share with you a small presentation which will exhibit that how things can be improved in our country and we can secure our materials which are critical. The Ministry of Mines has brought 30 metals which is very critical for our country to grow with the speed of 7 to 8% of GDP. So to achieve GDP of 8% or 7%, we need to secure our metals, and that is the importance for recycling. So I'll just take a few minutes to explain you that why circular economy is important for India. So please, this I have already brought you that this is 32 billion metric ton of carbons are emitted, and we are only 8% of the total, but we are 18% of the population. Every country has stopped going for the traditional way of fuel, and they are trying for the solar energy or battery energy, and they are also having a storage battery also. The next one. This is the figure which I wanted to tell you that how the natural resources are being depleted. You know, the China globally depletes 35 billion metric tons in 2015, and India in 2015 has 7.4 billion metric tons of the material, the minerals recovered from the Mother Earth, and it can touch 14.2 billion metric tons of the material, the natural resources. So the pressure is on the natural resources. How to overcome this natural resources? Unless and until we do recycling in each and every product. The 11 products have been already identified by Government of India under the chairmanship of our Honorable Minister and Honorable Prime Minister. So you will see that these by 2030, if it is 14.2 billion, what will be in 2047? You will need double of it by 2047. So from where we should get this material? From recycling. The next one. This is the, I'll just give you a little bit idea that how much is electronic waste itself, because I specialize in electronic waste. So this is the opportunity for India. It's a $3 billion market and it's fast growing. And the world market is 60 billion. And we are only 3 billion. We can reach 6 billion very shortly because we are going from 30% recycling to 70% recycling by 2035. So we will be achieving our targets of this thing. And you know, see this 60 million metric ton of electronic waste is being generated worldwide. We only generate 3 to 4 million metric ton. It will touch 30 million metric ton by 2047. What to do? The recycling. We have to do the recycling. So that is a very important opportunity for all of us, whether it is startups or the existing recyclers. The next one. Next slide, please. You know why I was talking about the critical metals. Why it is important to our country. You know, if we do not produce semiconductors, we will not be able to have the BrahMos missiles to be launched by our country, because we need these things. And if we have a lot of other missions, which are space missions, we need these critical metals to be secured. Rare earths, China has stopped giving the rare earths to us, and they have not interested to give it to us, and we only produce. I'll show you the little bit idea that rare earths are why important and where it is found. The next slide, please. So this is the total worldwide, that how much is the metals are being produced worldwide. So this is copper. Copper is a critical metal, and it is a new norm, and it is the new gold of India. If we are able to conserve copper and tin, we will be able to produce more foils which are used in space technologies, in semiconductors, in making the PCBs. So this is the total overall market of the metals, and it is very big. And if we recycle it, we will generate more green metals. And the green metals, if it is generated, we'll get the carbon credits. Carbon credits will help the government to incentivize recyclers. Recyclers will do more recycling, and we will be able to achieve 70% of the end of life products to be recycled. The next one. This is the important part. You have been reading every day, rare earth, rare earth, rare earth, rare earth. Rare earth is a very important thing for us. And India has, these are the 17 rare earths. People don't understand how many of you understand the rare earths and how much quantity of the rare earth is available in our part of the world. Is very minuscule. Last year, we have been only able to generate 2,900 metric ton of rare earths. And the China production, if you see, is 270,000 metric ton. So we are very much at a nascent stage to produce rare earths. So these rare earths, if you will see where it is being used, scandium for ultralight aerospace, The other one, yttrium, is used for rechargeable batteries. So all these are important small elements, critical metals. That's why it is called rare earth. So you will be happy to know that in India, we have a capability. My colleague has already signed an agreement with the US for generating the rare earths from the magnets. The magnets are being used in almost all electronic consumer durables, but it is in a very minuscule quantity. So the cost of recovery is very high, but it will take time to come to the more commercial viable business. So the rare earths, you have understood why it is important. The next slide, please. So this is just an idea how we can have waste to wealth. Dr. Garg has been communicating and advocating that we have to generate wealth out of the waste. So I will say, I am generating wealth out of the resource, which people are not able to understand, that why we should put our material on landfill when we can recover the good and valuable material out of it. So these are the few ideas, a few steps when we can generate the wealth. We have to dismantle whatever it is coming in end of life, whether it is refrigerator, washing machine, or television, or air conditioning, or medical devices, MRI, and other machines, laptops, servers. So all have very valuable materials. It has gold, it has silver, it has aluminum, copper, zinc, palladium, titanium, and that are all important for us. Naturally, when you dismantle these things, you have to have various plastics coming out of which is 27% of the e-waste is plastic. Approximately 30% of the electronic waste, which is consumer durables, is 30%. So these two constitute more than 50%. If we are able to recover it properly, efficiently, we can definitely generate good ferrous material and good plastic, as well as we can generate non-ferrous, that is copper, aluminum, and tin. So these are the very important constituents for electronic waste. So we have not to waste any electronics, and if we are not able to generate metals out of it, we will not be able to fulfill our supply chain to have better hardware material in India. Next one. As I told you that in India we only consumes, or we can have per capita of 2.4 kg of electronic waste. And Australia, the developed countries have more than 20 kg, Japan 20 kg, Korea 20 kg. So if we take it 20 kg as a base, by 2047, we'll be producing much more than what we are producing today. 3 millions we produce now, generate, and 32 million tons of e-waste will be generated by 2047. So what we have to do, start building the recycling capacities in India, so that advanced technologies, which China has already done. China is the largest recycler of all the products. They don't waste, they don't send anything to the landfill. So this is the importance of our recycling scenario, so that we can convert waste resource into the wealth, and to be Atmanirbhar, to secure our all metals. The next one, please. So this is the just recyclers capacities registered on the portal, and the maximum is in Uttar Pradesh, then it is in Maharashtra, and also in Haryana. So these are the 5 states which generate more than 70% of the recycling capacities. So we need more and more recyclers to come forward and do efficient and responsible recycling. Responsible recycling, again I say, they don't only dismantle, segregate, and send non-valuable to the landfill. So it is very important. That's why CPCB and MOEF has put very stringent laws in place. Next one. So this is just a scenario how our country is going ahead with the circular economy. You know, we have 371 recyclers, we have 100,086 refurbishers, and the producers who are producing hardware. You know, what hardware? Consumer durables, whether washing machine, refrigerator, servers, your laptops. So there are 8,890 producers who are registered on the CPCB to help to have the circular economy in place. So this is the little bit scenario as far as, so last year our country's recyclers have generated 316,000 of ferrous out of the electronic waste, which is a huge quantity. If we are also doing 70%, this will multiply. The copper, 30,000 tons. Aluminium, 42,000 tons. 27% of that is again plastic. So that all going into the formal sector to have the electronics to be recycled and to produce this much metals, ferrous, non-ferrous, plastic. So next one. So this is again carbon footprints. As I told you that all these green metals which you produce are able to generate carbon credits which can be traded worldwide, and the process is in place. India is going to have their own carbon market, and we will be able to help our country not to have an impact on our economy, on the GDP, because from 2026 all the green metals can be only exported. If you don't export green metals, there will be charges. They will be putting 25% import tariff, the European Union. And it will have an impact of 0.05% on our GDP. So it is the need that we should have green metals in place. The next one. So this is the January, and you know that Honorable Prime Minister has been always saying that let's pledge to collectively work towards conserving precious environment resources. Let us live in harmony and keep our beloved earth clean and green. How we can put the earth green and clean? By recycling. This is what is important. So for us, the planet, people and economy has to go together. If we do not put pressure on the planet, we will be having a better health, better lifestyle of the people, and the economy will grow properly if the recycling is taking place. The next one. So this is what I can bring on the table, and any question on this I will be able to answer later on once my co-panelists give their presentation. Thank you very much.